Um,
This one's wife. This shows they are in trouble. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. The royal family is synonymous with the issue of charity. They are patrons of many different charities, and it's part of them providing service as a payoff, if you will, for the fact that they occupy privileged positions within society. Various members of the royal family lend their names to certain charities as a patron, bringing publicity to that charity, drawing attention to its needs and requirements, the work that it undertakes, giving speeches at appropriate days related to the charity, attending forum where the aims of the charity are being discussed, bringing different charities together that might work in tandem, and generally engaging in support and profile raising. For instance, in 2025, the King marked the 35th anniversary of the King's Foundation, a charity which is involved in its work in education, health, and the environment. He awarded humanitarian medals at Buckingham Palace back in February to recognise global humanitarian efforts. He issued a message of support for community-based cancer support groups back in April. He attended a reception for the King Charles III Charitable Fund, meeting representatives from supported organisations. That was back in September. He joined Prince William for a joint engagement at the National History Museum, marking the countdown to COP30, supporting climate and environmental charities. Princess Anne, she, back in April, commemorated the 110th anniversary of the Gallipoli campaign, honouring veterans and supporting military charities. She hosted a charities forum at Buckingham Palace on June the 6th, bringing together over 100 of her patron charities. In September, she visited the Naval Children's Charity headquarters to discuss crisis grants for young people from naval families. In October, she spoke in Jersey at the Durrell Wildlife Conservation Trust. In November, she was in Australia and Singapore visiting projects for Save the Children and equestrian charities. In November, just recently, she joined veterans for an event with the Not Forgotten charity, which is part of the Telegraph newspaper Christmas appeal. Prince William, in January, opened the Rob Burrows Centre for Motor Neuron Disease at Seacroft Hospital. He, in April, visited Surplus to Supper, a food redistribution charity, and delivered meals. He played in a polo match in July, raising funds for charities including Child Bereavement UK and Action for Children. In September, he visited the Union Kirk and Shelter Scotland in support of the Homewards Homelessness Initiative. In November, he attended the Earthshot Prize Awards ceremony. The Duchess of Edinburgh, she visited the English for Women project as a new patron of the Mothers' Union, supporting literacy and community development for women. She visited Barleylands Education Centre in Essex in May to support agriculture and environmental education charities. In October, she was in the Democratic Republic of Congo and met women peace builders working on grassroots charity projects to prevent sexual violence in conflict. She attended the Duchess of Edinburgh competition in November, which involved service organisations affiliated to a number of her patronages. That's just a small selection of some of the royals and the charities that they are involved in. They are asked to be patrons of charities. They give of their time, as they indeed should. Their involvement is welcomed because it allows those charities to gain publicity by virtue of the association with the royal, which means that they can attract more donations, that they can attract greater understanding of what they achieve, how the money is being used. So it's all excellent profile raising, and the royals are invited to become involved in these charities. In some instances, they have had a long-standing involvement in them. This is to be contrasted with what the Sussexes do. As you know, they created the Archwell Foundation, which most people now realise has simply been utilised as a vehicle for Hank and Skank to make themselves look good, whilst utilising its donations to pay for things such as security and travel and promotional activities. Question marks have been raised, of course, about the fact that it is located in Delaware, registered in Delaware, so that only 5% of its monies actually need to be spent on charitable activity, meaning the other 95% could potentially be siphoned off for their own personal use. Most people recognise that Archwell is really just another extension of the grifting that these two get up to. But they like to maintain from time to time some kind of involvement in charitable work. And as you know, as explained in parts passing, that this one's wife and Harry turned up at our Big Kitchen Los Angeles for the purposes of demonstrating some involvement of Archwell, making it seem like they came along and they volunteered, or that our Big Kitchen got on the phone and went, "Hi, Harry and this one's wife. Wondered if you fancied popping down to our Big Kitchen Los Angeles and engaging in assisting in the transformative power of food and community. And bring the kids. And you can take some photos, that's okay. We understand that you crave publicity, that you can't do anything secretly. But if you want, yes, you can take some photographs." Well, in actual fact, it didn't happen like that, because it isn't the case that our Big Kitchen wanted them involved. It wasn't the case that they were giving of their time. They had to do this. What you are seeing are screenshots from our Big Kitchen Los Angeles website and the section that deals with corporate team building, because yes, you can transform your team with our corporate programs. It explains that many companies are reshuffling their agendas to place more emphasis on corporate social responsibility. Our Big Kitchen LA offers a unique opportunity for organisations to get involved in giving back in a tangible way. Whether you're a seasoned volunteer or a first-timer, cooking and packaging meals alongside your colleagues creates a powerful camaraderie, empathy and fulfilment. Accordingly, you're told that that corporate programs can unite to end food insecurity. And as a team, you'll have the opportunity to engage with a diverse community, reignite your organisation's commitment to social responsibility, and make a tangible impact on the lives of others. Your team will bond over the shared experience of cooking and creating a better world together. You're then provided with the programme details that tells you that it's for 2 hours, that you're involved in making 300 meals and 600 cookies. And there's an itinerary, as you can see. You arrive, you check in, you get orientation. You're then given the menu details and the preparation instruction. You then prepare entrees and homemade cookie dough. You assemble the meals. You can sample the food. And there's a closing discussion, and you get a group photo to preserve the memory. Yes, indeed you do. How wonderful. And you can download from the site the corporate team building package, which takes you through what happens, explaining that, for instance, with the itinerary, and it's expanded on in greater detail in the programme overview, meal preparation, e.g. chop vegetables. What did we see this one's wife and Harry doing? Chopping peppers. Roll homemade cookie dough, where we saw Harry, this one's wife, and the littles doing that also. We also were treated to the group photo at the end, which showed this one's wife and Harry so in love, their arms wrapped around one another. And It only costs you $3,000 for this. Yes. It's quite clear that what you saw that was posted on Archewell and this one's wife's Instagram, that which was then picked up by the mainstream media, was the corporate partner package purchased by Archewell. So what they did was they used other people's donations, not their own money, because it was Archewell, and they went along there with their kids and some members of the Archewell team also, and having paid $3,000, they got to have access to Our Big Kitchen LA. Our Big Kitchen LA didn't say, would you like to come and volunteer? Would you like to provide some help? Oh no. Archewell booked this program and used other people's money to pay for it, to make it seem like this was a straightforward volunteering by Harry and this one's wife. Compare that to what I've just explained in relation to King Charles III, Prince William, the Duchess of Edinburgh, Princess Anne, and it applies to others. Do you think they pay for corporate packages so that they turn up at the Naval Families Charity, that they turn up in relation to charities in the Congo to support women who've suffered violence? Of course not. They're invited. They're wanted. They don't pay to play. They're involved because they have a genuine commitment, and in some instances a long-standing commitment to these charities. Naturally, they're seeking publicity in a similar way to that of this one's wife, but they're not having to pay for it in the way that she does. This demonstrates that they're clearly in trouble, because charities aren't inviting them along, they're having to pay to get involved. Such is the toxicity of the reputation of the Sussexes, that even now, charities will only tolerate them if they part with the cash first. They're not extending an invitation to them to say, come and help out. Yes, you can use it as a photo opportunity, and it'll be great because you're well known and well liked, and therefore you'll bring excellent publicity to the charity. Oh, right, you want to come along, do you? Well, I suppose if you pay, we'll tolerate you. That's what it's come to. The fact that this one's wife and Harry particularly, given his hitherto charitable endeavours, the fact that they are now having to pay to attend charitable events, because otherwise the charities don't want them, really demonstrates how much their reputation stinks and how they're really in trouble. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.